Hey everyone, Chloe here and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers, welcome. So in continuing our womanly modern woman archetype series, I wanted to unpack and to take a deeper dive into the very popular and into one of the oldest and most ancient and most powerful of the feminine archetypes, the goddess, who is best associated with the Greek goddesses Venus and Aphrodite, and the Yoruba deity and feminine goddess called Oshun. Now, as a reminder of the rules of engagement, ladies, and for those of you who are new here, feminine archetypes are about being aware of your natural instincts, your personality inclinations, and learning how to finesse the art of what naturally lies underneath, and on how to finesse the art of what Mother Nature has given to you. And while the woman will normally be a mixture of different feminine archetypes, there is the goddess boss and the goddess creative. She will usually be dominated by one, as expressed in my book Womanly, and she can be dominated by one archetype at different stages of her life. And she will also be influenced by a variety of nuances such as her upbringing, her environment, her astrological sign, the time that she was born, her desires for a career or a family, and even the amount of emotional support and validation that a woman has received in her childhood can make a difference in her confidence levels, her self-esteem, her self-worth, her levels of assertion, her decision-making, and in her ability to bloom. Now, naturally, every woman will not be born as the naturally rare goddess archetype, and no, the goddess archetype is not a common one. Just like the alpha phenotype in men is not common, and that is okay, because as a woman, you can still win at the art of feminine warfare with feminine seduction. And a woman, in spite of what her archetype is, can be a siren, a charmer, or can have a natural charisma about her. And as women, we all can do the feminine homework of adding depth and mystery to our personas, which is discussed quite thoroughly in my feminine education school, The New Feminine. Now, the goddess archetype is the woman who rules and dwells most naturally and most comfortably in the feminine realm. Her natural feminine presence and her feminine aura are the intangible qualities that make a goddess truly shine, for she is both effortlessly feminine on the outside and the inside. The goddess, make no mistake, is not a pretend feminine woman. She is not a walking case of the imposter syndrome or a chameleon pretending to be feminine, and she does not practice wax on and wax off femininity as a form of deception. She is a through and through naturally wired to be feminine woman. Not only at most times, she is a va-va-voom pinup girl who makes men weak in the knees, but her milkshake brings all of the boys to the yard without much effort, manipulation, force, or contrivance. The goddess archetype in a nutshell is a woman who is naturally connected to feminine power, feminine magnetism, feminine sultriness, sensuality, bedroom energy, bedroom passion, arousal, enticement, titillation, voluptuousness, having an hourglass figure, beauty, intrigue, seduction, desire, sweetness, feminine poise, feminine glamour, feminine intrigue, feminine grace, and feminine mystery. She is often confused with the up, front, and center diva, and she is also the complete opposite of the alpha woman, who is much more comfortable in the realm of masculine power, masculine dominance, masculine authority, and wielding dominion. Now, the goddess is a very popular and a very aspirational archetype in the femininity community, and is a very popular archetype in both old and new Hollywood, and in the marketing and the selling of beauty and fashion, being an icon and being the measuring stick of desirability and pedestalized and worshipped beauty. The goddess is known for being a bombshell. She is known for her sultriness, and she is the sight to behold woman who is considered a benefactor of what many today call pretty privilege. She is also considered the benefactor of winning the genetic lottery. Now, because of her smoldering good looks or her naturally enticing energy, the goddess archetype is considered both the desirable object of affection by men, and she is also the object of envy by many women, as her superpower is her natural ability to inspire lust, erotic desire, as she is a woman who naturally stirs the loins of men. The goddess is the woman who is known as the ultimate fantasy figure, as her physical presence is a mixture of allure, sensuality, feminine softness, and naturally potent siren energy. And they naturally invoke erotic desire, pleasure, and they incite a mixture of curiosity and danger in men. The goddess archetype is the woman who can easily put a man under a spell with her enchanting beauty, and is a woman that a man will naturally want to covet, to pursue, to compete for, and to go to war for. And this may ruffle some feathers to hear, but the goddess archetype is also the woman who will inspire a lot of feminine copycats and a lot of feminine wannabes, as the goddess is the woman who motivates the everyday woman to purchase 1,000,001 beauty products and who can sell the fantasy of desirable beauty quite easily. The goddess archetype is often the measuring stick and the weaponizing tool that has now unfortunately driven women in mass to extreme forms of chasing beauty perfection by using beauty distortion with extreme photoshopping, face tuning, BBLs, and aggressive plastic surgery, also that a woman can be as close to the worshipped goddess archetype ideal, as the goddess is the feminine archetype standard, who is known for receiving lots of unearned, pedestalized attention and worship from the opposite sex. And no, it isn't the worst thing in the world to be admired for your pretty privilege and your sex appeal. But on the downside, and there is a downside to being a goddess, the goddess will often struggle with being taken seriously beyond her physical beauty. She will often attract shallow men who seek to objectify her to the stature of an arm piece or to that of a trophy wife. Her intelligence will often not be respected or even considered, as she will often not be considered a full human being or a three-dimensional figure until she is aging or until her looks have faded. And she will often struggle with having genuine friendships with women due to the catty, competitive, and comparative nature of some women in the realm of receiving the attention of men. The goddess throughout her lifetime will trigger an unbelievable amount of jealousy, pettiness, and insecurities from the women who aren't on the receiving end of the pedestalized worship from the male gaze. Another downside to being a goddess is that people will often make up lies and rumors and will create negatively charged gossip in order to make dirty the goddess's reputation and to devalue the goddess's appeal and her stature in the eyes of others. And those lies will not only be made up by envious women, but also by the insecure, unaccomplished men who are triggered by the goddess's natural unattainability. Transition-wise, once the goddess's beauty begins to fade, she will often struggle with transitioning to other methods of seduction that don't involve her looks. And the goddess archetype will most definitely get cheated on, lied to, abused, mishandled. She will attract an inordinate amount of narcissistic men, and in some cases will be grossly objectified and passed around, as was the unfortunately very sad case of the very beautiful Marilyn Monroe. In love, the goddess will fare well with a man who is not only a leader and a boss, but a man who is a champion. As a champion is a person who both thrives and excels in the realm of competition and winning. And the goddess is most certainly considered a trophy by a boss and by men who are ambitious leaders at the highest of levels, and by men who are driven to succeed at the highest of levels. The goddess mantra, don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Compatibility counterpart, a formidable boss. Bosses are men who are highly driven, ladies, are highly accomplished, are very comfortable with leadership, are men who usually hold a tremendous amount of executive power. They build companies, they sell companies, and they have the ability to hire and fire. Celebrity examples of the goddess archetype: Beyonce, Tika Sumpter, Rihanna, Josephine Baker, Ciara, Monica Bellucci, Gail Godot, Eartha Kitt, Dorothy Dandridge, Halle Berry, Elizabeth Taylor, and of course, Marilyn Monroe. Notable male Adonis archetypes: Tyson Beckford, Jason Momoa, Henry Cavill, Idris Elba, Serge Ibaka, and Tyler Lepley. And for those of you who don't know, an Adonis is a man who is considered highly covetable, highly attractive, and highly desirable without having to try. So that is all that I have to say on this for now. Every woman either openly or secretly wants to be the natural goddess archetype, but a woman will always have more success with being who she is rather than trying to mimic or copycat an energetic phenotype that she isn't. Ladies, when it comes to femininity and womanhood, authenticity will always reign supreme. So ladies and lurkers, is the goddess archetype your feminine archetype? Do you receive a lot of unasked for attention by men and receive a lot of envy by women? Do you tend to attract very, very successful men without even having to try? And as always, I look forward to reading your amazing responses to this video and to the goddess archetype below. And stay tuned for more feminine school videos to come, and I will catch up with you ladies and lurkers in the next one.